In 2026, packing the wrong item won't just get your bag searched, it could get you arrested. Just ask the 69-year-old grandmother who was recently detained in the Bahamas and faced a 10-year prison sentence, all because of something she forgot was in her purse. Cruise lines have quietly moved to a zero-tolerance strategy. We aren't just talking about irons and candles anymore. We are talking about new technology bans, hidden fee policies, and strict crackdowns that are catching thousands of passengers off guard. Here are the 12 new rules and bans you need to know to survive your 2026 sailing, starting with the one device you might be wearing right now. Number 1. Smart glasses. Let's start with a technology restriction rolling into 2026, hitting MSC cruises in a big way, and partially affecting Carnival Cruise Line. If you own Ray-Ban Metas or any smart glasses capable of discreetly recording video or audio, pay close attention. MSC has updated its guest conduct policy to restrict smart glasses in public areas on board. Wearing or using them in shared spaces like restaurants, pool decks, theaters, or lounges is not allowed, and enforcement can include confiscation. This is a tough rule because many people use these glasses for translation or visual aids, but the cruise line is taking a hard line. Why the crackdown? It comes down to privacy and security. Guests don't want to be recorded in public spaces, and ship security is concerned about passengers capturing sensitive procedures. Carnival, on the other hand, has not issued a ship-wide ban. Their rules are narrower, mainly prohibiting smart glasses during gangway operations or specific security situations. My advice, use smart glasses in port if you want. But once you're back on board, especially with MSC, treat them like a drone. Turn them off and store them in your cabin. Number 2. Weapons and ammo. Next is the rule that sent a 69-year-old grandmother to the notorious Fox Hill Prison. In December 2025, Mary Robinson from Oklahoma was arrested in Nassau while reboarding the Liberty of the Seas. Here is the terrifying part. U.S. security in Florida missed the gun. She boarded the ship with a loaded .380 in her purse, but when she tried to get back on in the Bahamas, their scanners found it. Despite having early dementia and no bad intent, she spent 5 days in a Bahamian prison and had to pay an $8,000 fine to avoid a 10-year sentence. And you don't need a gun to get into trouble. First, ammunition. Even one stray bullet rolling around in the bottom of an old hunting backpack can get you a mandatory prison sentence in the Bahamas or Turks and Caicos. There is no fine. There is no warning. It is immediate jail time. Second, weapon-like items. Cruise lines are now aggressively confiscating anything that looks like a weapon on the X-ray. That includes realistic toy guns, heavy tactical pens, and even certain novelty lighters shaped like grenades or pistols. If it looks dangerous on the scanner, they aren't taking chances. They will confiscate it, and you will likely be flagged for a secondary search every time you board. Number 3. Casino money traps. Now we need to talk about your money because cruise lines are quietly closing loopholes that smart cruisers have used for years. First, let's address the slot machine ATM hack. For years, some passengers would go to a slot machine, charge hundreds of dollars to their room account to play, spin once for a small amount, then immediately cash out the rest. This allowed them to get cash without paying ATM fees. That loophole is disappearing. Cruise lines like Carnival and Royal Caribbean now monitor this behavior closely and may consider repeated use to be casino abuse or fee avoidance. Passengers have reported losing casino charging privileges or being restricted from casino play mid-cruise. If you want cash, use the ATM. Don't treat slot machines like a bank. But getting kicked out of the casino isn't the biggest risk. There is a growing crackdown on no-showing for comped cruises. If you are a gambler who receives those free cruise offers, listen closely. A passenger recently booked several free casino cruises and didn't show up. She didn't cancel, she just didn't go. She figured it was free, so who cares? The cruise line cared. Because she didn't show up to gamble, they lost money on that empty cabin. The result? All of her future bookings were canceled, and she was effectively banned from booking future cruises. If you book a comped offer and can't make it, call and cancel. Number 4. Alcohol rules. These are the alcohol rule changes that will hit your wallet if you're not prepared. First, the NCL Island devaluation. If you're sailing Norwegian, mark this date, March 1st, 2026. Here's the change. Even if you buy the unlimited open bar through Free at Sea, it will no longer work at Great Stirrup Cay. You used to drink for free on the island. Now, shipboard drink packages will not be accepted, and you'll either need to pay per drink or purchase a separate island drink package. Non-alcoholic drinks like water, tea, and juice will still be included. This is a major devaluation of the perk, so you should budget extra for island drinks. Second, the Royal Caribbean loophole. The famous spouse loophole is effectively dead. In the past, you could call and request an exemption if one adult in the cabin didn't drink. Now, exemptions are rarely granted. If one adult buys the deluxe beverage package, all adults in the cabin are expected to buy it due to abuse and drink sharing. And finally, the secret container crackdown. This happens at embarkation security. Cruise lines are actively looking for fake shampoo bottles, sunscreen flasks, and other hidden alcohol containers. New scanners can detect unusual liquid densities. If one is spotted, it will be confiscated, and you may be flagged for a secondary bag search, which can delay boarding. Don't risk it. Number 5. Zero tolerance drug policy. Now we need to address one of the most misunderstood rules in cruising, and one that gets people denied boarding every single week: CBD and medical marijuana. I know many of you use CBD creams for arthritis or gummies for sleep. You might have a doctor's recommendation. It might be legal in your home state. None of that matters to cruise lines. Cruise terminals operate under federal jurisdiction, and once the ship leaves the dock, it follows strict international and maritime law. Cruise lines strictly prohibit marijuana in any form, and many treat CBD products the same way because there's no reliable way to verify THC content. As a result, CBD oils, vapes, gummies, and even topical products are commonly flagged. We are seeing increased use of K9 units and enhanced screening at major ports like Miami. If your bag is flagged, you can be pulled aside for a full search. If any CBD or THC product is found, you can be denied boarding immediately with no refund. In some cases, passengers are also flagged or banned from sailing with that cruise line in the future. Do not test this policy. It is not worth the risk. Number 6. Banned medical items. You might assume that because an item is for your health or pain relief, it is allowed. Not always. First, CPAP extension cords. If you travel with a CPAP machine for sleep apnea, do not pack your own extension cord from home. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean and Carnival prohibit personal extension cords and power strips because they are unverified fire hazards, and security will confiscate them. Instead, contact the cruise line's special needs or access department before you sail to request a medical-approved cord. If you forget, ask your stateroom attendant immediately on day 1. Ships can usually provide one for CPAP use. Second, heating pads. I know many of you use electric heating pads for back pain or arthritis. These are banned on most major cruise lines because they generate heat and can be left unattended, creating a fire risk. If you bring one, it will be taken. Bring icy hot patches or a non-electric hot water bottle instead. Number 7. Starlink and router bans. You used to be able to bring a travel router to share one Wi-Fi package with your whole family and save money. Those days are over. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean and Carnival have updated their prohibited items lists to ban satellite dishes, travel routers, and mesh networking devices. This specifically targets devices like the new Starlink Mini. Some passengers thought they could bring their own satellite dish to bypass expensive ship Wi-Fi packages. The reality? If these devices are found during embarkation screening or discovered on board, they will be confiscated. Cruise lines have already taken Starlink equipment from passengers, citing security risks and attempts to bypass onboard internet systems. A critical safety warning. Because you are limited to the ship's Wi-Fi or open port networks, be extremely careful. Scammers actively target public Wi-Fi to steal passwords and banking information. Make sure you have a VPN installed on your phone or laptop before you leave home. It's one of the best ways to protect your data on shared networks. Number 8. Confiscated home comforts. You might think this is obvious, but people are still getting caught bringing kitchen items because they want the comforts of home. Recently, a passenger actually had a boxed waffle maker confiscated. It was a gift for a friend, but security didn't care. It's a heating element, and it is strictly banned. More importantly, clothing steamers. I know many of you love these for formal night to get wrinkles out of your suits and dresses. However, steamers are banned on almost every line due to the burn and fire risk. Do not pack one. Use the ship's laundry service or a wrinkle release spray instead. But the big one for 2026 is Disney's hairdryer restriction. Disney Cruise Line has introduced strict wattage limits. 1,500 watts for 110-volt devices and 2,000 watts for 220-volt devices. Many popular high-powered dryers exceed this. If yours is flagged during security screening, it will be taken and returned at the end of the cruise. Save the suitcase space and use the one in the cabin. Number 9. New public nuisance rules. Beyond hardware bans, there's a major shift in how cruise lines are enforcing passenger behavior. They are finally stepping in to stop the selfish habits that annoy everyone. The biggest win for honest passengers is the war on chair hogs. Cruise lines like P&O and Carnival have rolled out stricter time limit systems on pool decks. Crew members actively patrol with time-stamped tags. If they see a chair with towels but no person, they mark the time. If you're not back within about 30 to 40 minutes, your belongings can be removed and taken to a designated area. The days of reserving a chair at dawn and showing up hours later are ending. But it's not just about space. It's also about noise. Bluetooth speakers are now a major target. Carnival bans them on board ships, and Royal Caribbean prohibits them at private destinations like Coco Cay. Crew members will ask you to turn them off and use headphones instead. The rule is simple. Nobody else wants to hear your playlist. Number 10. New wheelchair scooter policy. Next is a critical warning for anyone with mobility issues or anyone traveling with elderly parents. This rule is catching people off guard at the terminal. Some cruise lines, particularly P&O Cruises, have started strictly enforcing their policies regarding wheelchairs and mobility scooters in cabins. If you need to bring a wheelchair or mobility scooter and plan to store or use it inside your cabin, you must be booked in a designated accessible cabin. Why? It's a safety issue. In a standard cabin, there often isn't enough space. A wheelchair or scooter can block the doorway or emergency escape route. If you show up at the terminal with a wheelchair or scooter, but you're booked in a standard inside cabin without declaring it or booking the proper cabin, your device may be denied boarding, and in some cases, you may be unable to sail. Do not assume you can just make it work or park it in the hallway outside your room. You need to call the cruise line's special needs or accessibility department before you pay for your booking to make sure you have the right cabin. Number 11. Age restrictions. Next, we need to cover some hidden age restrictions that are catching families off guard. These rules have changed recently, so don't rely on what you did last year. First, jet skis in the Bahamas. If you plan to rent a jet ski at a private island or in Nassau, be warned. New local regulations now require drivers to be 18 years or older for many cruise-related excursions. The old rule that sometimes allowed 16 or 17-year-olds to drive with parental consent is no longer widely accepted by major operators. Be prepared to show a physical ID, or you'll be watching from the beach. Second, infants on MSC cruises. This is a niche but critical rule. MSC Cruises now does not allow infants under 2 years old on cruises longer than 11 nights. Because these longer voyages can go days without access to shore-based medical care, infants under 24 months are not permitted. If you are planning a long or grand voyage with a toddler, check this policy carefully, or you may be turned away at the pier. Number 12. Local laws you can't ignore. Finally, we need to cover a port-specific law that catches people off guard every season. This sounds like an old rule, but awareness and enforcement remain important in several Caribbean destinations, including Barbados, Jamaica, and St. Lucia. In these countries, it is illegal for civilians to wear camouflage clothing. In the U.S., camo is a fashion choice. In parts of the Caribbean, it is reserved strictly for the military and police. Cruise lines routinely warn passengers about this, and local authorities can enforce it. That means tourists wearing camo shirts, shorts, hats, or backpacks may be stopped by local officials and asked to change, return to the ship, or remove the item. In some cases, camouflage items can be confiscated or fines issued, depending on local law and enforcement. Don't let a pair of cargo shorts ruin your shore excursion. If you're sailing to the southern or western Caribbean, the safest move is simple. Leave the camo at home, or at least in your cabin. Bonus: common packing mistakes. To wrap things up, let's finish with a quick rapid-fire round. These are the 5 items that most often surprise cruisers, get confiscated at security, or even cause serious problems at the gangway. First up, drones. Most major cruise lines don't allow drones to be flown on board or from the ship. While you may be allowed to bring one, using it on the ship or private islands can lead to confiscation. It's only worth bringing if you plan to fly legally in port. Next, baby monitors and walkie-talkies. Many cruise lines restrict transmitting devices because they can interfere with ship communications or safety systems, and they may be confiscated at screening, especially higher wattage units. Use the cruise line's app to stay in touch. It's free and it works. Third, homemade food. I know you want to bring your famous cookies or a Tupperware of your favorite snack, but you can't. Due to strict health and safety codes, all food must be factory sealed in its original packaging. If you bring a Ziploc bag of brownies, security will throw it away. Fourth, multi-plugs. Leave your power strips and surge protectors from home behind. If it has a switch or a surge protector, security will confiscate it as a fire hazard. Instead, stick to non-surge USB hubs that plug directly into the wall. And finally, wine. Your allowed bottles must be in your carry-on. If you put them in checked luggage, security may flag your bag and remove the wine, which can delay your boarding or require you to retrieve it later. Now, staying out of trouble with these new rules is just step 1. If you want to actually master your vacation, I'm talking about saving money, skipping lines, and avoiding rookie mistakes, you need to check out this video right here. I've put together my best tips to help you cruise like a pro on your very next sailing. Click that and I'll see you there.